for us being parents. But one of the things I wanted to ask is, you being from that era, that area, rather, Chino Hills, and right now, it looks like his sons are pretty much running Chino Hills as far as basketball circuit. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention, they started AAU play. LaMelo is on his team being coached by his dad. First AAU game, he goes off for 38 in the first half, and he benches him in the second half. I thought that was kind of funny, and it's just, to me, piggybacking on what he said about the UCLA loss. And I'm not going to get into it. If you want, you can look it up and see what he said, because I didn't like the comments. I didn't like the way it was projected in the media. So I'm not going to mention the comments. I'm just going to reference the comments, if you will. And, you know, like I said, I watch this stuff and I know it's good, great conversation. But again, like I said, I'm not going to repeat what was said because I didn't like what was said. Also, again, like I said, I didn't like the way it was projected in the media, which is always a thing for me. But how do you feel about that? Like, the things that he said, and then what he says about his son.
Well, I don't pay that guy no mind, to be honest. That's just me personally. I mean,
it's like a lot.
I understand he's talking to her. He's proud of his son, and I'm a parent. You know, I'm a parent of 2 children, and I'm going to be proud of them. But with that being said, and in this era of AAU basketball or any kind of sport, you know, it could be, you know, summer soccer, it could be baseball, travel, whatever, travel ball, but it boils down to, you know, us parents, we're all going to be extra excited for our kids. We're going to be vocal, but at the same time, we should also be respectful. And I don't think this guy carries a whole lot of respect for other people. You know, what his comments and what he said. You know, I saw something on Twitter with Michael Rappaport who kind of hit it on the head. I'm not going to really repeat what Michael Rappaport said on his Twitter feed, but it was dead on. I mean, it's just, you should always be a good father and be proud of your kids and cheering them on. That's number one. We got that.
Right.
But to diminish somebody else's kids, you know, to, you know, allow your son, you know, to play offense but not defense, come on, you're cheating the game. You're cheating the game.
Cheating the game, you're cheating the kid.
Yeah, you're cheating the game, you're cheating the kid, you're cheating everything. But you know, in this country we have a lovely thing called freedom of speech, so he can say whatever the heck he want to say. And you know, and us, to get him to stop talking, we got to stop talking about it.
Right. Right.
And, but you know, Lorenzo's a hell of a ball player.
Yeah, he's
you know, the younger one, LaMelo, whatever them L's are, you know, he seems like he's a good ball player, but again, I haven't had my eyes on him. You know, anybody can be good on YouTube.
Right. You know, it's funny you say that, because I talk to people a lot, and like I said, we talk a lot at work, and people always talk about, well, this guy is this and this guy is that, and I said, well, go back and find a full game. He's like, well, I saw the highlights and this and that. I said, highlights are what they are. They're highlights.
Right.
So I said, so are there going to be any bad things in the highlights? Are there going to be any, for sake of a better phrase, questionable things in a highlight reel? No. The highlight reel is just what it is. It's a highlight reel. It's going to be all the good things, all the great things were compiled together as one. And like we talked before, you have to be able to see the entire game. Like we talked, you know, you have a game, you may get out there, it may be your day. You may score, like we just talked, the kid scored 38 in the first half.
Right.
You may have one of those games, let's say. But the issues become, and this is the full recruitment process, full game, the game within the game, as we like to say. What are you going to do when you get pulled? Now, you scored 38 points. Let's just say your team is up 20, 25 points. The way the game is going, there's really no chance that this team is going to get back in the game. We all know the game of basketball. They're going to make runs, but you're going to be able to sustain those runs with ease, no problem at all. How do you react to that?
Right.
You know, and this is like what everybody, the recruiters, the other coaches, this is the things that they're looking at. But to score 38 points, and I want to go back a little bit too to the game where LaMelo scored 90-something points. And like we talked about that, I said somebody told me, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, all right, I see how he scored 98 points. Like the kid never came across half court, you know. And it's offense, no defense. Offense, no defense. A lot of cherry picking, as we say. Shot went up, he's already halfway, 3/4 of the way to the other basket. Pretty much catch and shoot if it's the right pass.
Right.
You know, I think that takes away from the game because, just for instance, and like I had Coach Mo here, and we talked about with the Mississippi State game, and she said brought up a point, and I'm going to bring it up in the same, I think it works in the same context. What if that team had decided to go boxing one? They stayed in pretty much a zone. The man-to-man that they played a little bit, because I went back and watched that whole game. The man-to-man was really soft. And I think it was because they knew they were outmanned by him, so they kind of had to play the defense, which they should have played. I'm going to play him to my help. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that at that particular day, he was a lot better. You know, but that, I think, are the things, like you said, that hurts the game and hurts the kid, because now he's got this false confidence that I can score anytime I want.
I wouldn't say he's got a false confidence. I think he's already got, I think his confidence is already, you know, he's real on the borderline of cocky, which is fine, but, you know, what I'm looking at as a former collegiate basketball coach, and, you know, guy who sat in the gyms and watched kids play all day that was my job, is he making anybody else better? You score 90-something points, you're not making anybody else better. And we're forgetting that his older brother, who's already committed going to UCLA, is on that team. What did he score?
Right.
You know, how many points did he have? How many, if he scored 92 points, how many assists did he have? Did he have any rebounds? You know, how many steals, blocks? There's other aspects of the game that people are over here forgetting about. All we're seeing is a number, which is 92, and at 92, you know, 8 away from 100, you know. So, you know, we're all, you know, in our era right now, everybody's big on stats.
Yeah.
You know.
Analytics and the stats are just
analytics and stats, and, you know, this kid, you know, scores 92 in a high school game, but, you know, again, what level of talent was he playing against? Now, here you said he scored 38 in the first half of an AU game, and his dad decides to sit him down. What talent was he playing against? You know, what circuit is he on? Is he on the EYBL, the Nike circuit? Is he on the Adidas? Is he on the Under Armour circuit? You know, we don't know. I don't know what circuit he's on, and I know he's not going to score no 92 points or 38-something points in a Nike in the EYBL. I know that for a fact. That's not happening. I know it. So unless he's doing that on some, you know, is he playing up? Is he playing against some 8th graders or something? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions with that, you know, and like you said, I don't think with those AU circuits that he mentioned, the Nike and the Adidas, I don't think he would be scoring that many points.
Absolutely.
In those circuits either, because you've got, and like this is the same thing like what I tell the kids that I coach. I say, yo, you've got 5 Division I schools in your backyard, but you've also got 50, 40 something other states. Whatever state you go to, is people that live there.
Yep.
You know, it's not like it's
There's gonna be somebody
it's
else.
It's not like the only thing there is
the
college, and it's just people coming into the college and they formed the colony. No, people were already there. The college was already there, and it's like I always mention to people: do you want to play or do you want to work to play? And you know, I said, like I think you would just get ready to mention this. It's people there, so it's like you got Jimmy in Texas that lives in Texas, being recruited by Texas, and then you got Johnny in Philly being recruited by Texas. Johnny in Philly is more likely going to get the assistant coaches, the lower assistant coaches. The bigger coaches are going to stay in their backyard, and they're going to say, listen, James, I need you to go see Johnny in Philly big game for him. We're gonna ride down the road and we're gonna go check out Jimmy. You know, and I'm almost certain that's how that works because I've been around it, I've been through it. And when I went to school, I went to Westchester for 1 year. Then I came back to Temple. But the reason I came back was because of the education, the different departments where I wanted to major was a better department at Temple. And again, I should have researched that a little bit better. But initially, it was the basketball thing for me. Westchester, I go to Westchester to go play basketball, still close to home. I'd be able to come home, be around family. Things didn't work out, and then I had to focus on school. So I had to make a decision, you know, and for me, it was really no choice, I guess no struggle in that decision where I wanted to be in radio and TV productions. Temple at the time, this was like 88, 89, one of the best schools for that. So it was like a no-brainer. So, you know, I made the transfer and I decided to go to school, things like that. And that just always stays fresh in my mind when I talk to the kids that I coach, former kids that I've coached, and I say, you know, it's going to come a time when you're not going to be able to play at the level that you want.
Right.
So what are you going to do after that? And with that being said, I want to take a break, but that's also leading me into a post, and we can think about it while we're on break. A friend of mine posted in my group page, and he referenced kids going to school for $100,000, or kind of, you know, kids going to school to play basketball and then leaving after 1 year and things of that nature. I'm gonna look up the post while we're on break. We're gonna get to that after the break. You're listening to SportsRap, Heat 100 Radio.